It is The Riots. This is the podcast for Wednesday, February 15th.
Oh, Valentine's Day is over. Hopefully everybody enjoyed their Valentine's Day yesterday.
It's Valentine's Day Boxing Day.
Yeah, I know if there was only a term for that.
Yeah, there should be.
Is there all the sales on candy and TVs that you could possibly want?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you even have post-Super Bowl TV sales, so I'm sure there's lots of stuff out there.
Yeah, if you can find it. Isaiah, did you have this experience yesterday? You said you went to the grocery store, and I know I did.
I did.
And it looked like the pickings already were sparse, and that was on Valentine's Day.
Of the candy and stuff?
Yeah, it seems like Kroger, at least in my area, did a good job of budgeting the proper amount of space for Valentine's. They bought the exact right amount. In fact, maybe not quite enough, because people were panicking yesterday.
I think we went to the same place.
You think so?
I feel pretty confident we did.
Was yours a marketplace?
Yes.
Was
there
How can we say it without giving the address of
No,
the Kroger?
I can do it. Is there a place there where is there like a food hall there?
Yes.
Yeah, I was in there. But I definitely went at a different time than you, because I know the seasonal Valentine's Day section of where I went was bare.
Yes,
barren.
it was.
And I've been there for Christmas, and I've been there for Halloween and other holidays, and usually they have a ton of stuff there.
But that's because you're not supposed to wait till Valentine's
You're not.
Day.
Yeah, but it was just impressive that they actually sold all of like the little teddy bears, like everything that they had, they sold.
Because usually, you're right.
There's tons of crap left
a
over.
bunch of crap left over that would be like 70% off today, but there wasn't. They already had filled it mostly with Easter stuff.
Yep, it was gone.
If you wanted Valentine's Day stuff, you had to go over to where like the deli and stuff was. Did you see all those like bouquets of candy bars that they had a million of those, and they clearly looked to be meant for children. So if you gave that to your wife or something, your girlfriend, she might be a little confused.
Well, if not, if you got a Cadbury egg or something Easter candy-wise, there was nothing else there.
That's all that there was.
So hopefully you guys got something good yesterday and you weren't left out like wherever they were shopping at.
Well, today on the show, we talked about how 2/3 of people have spent time ghosting someone.
Yeah, it sounds like you're making up a lot of the ghosters.
I am a high percentage of those.
2/3 of people admit to being ghosted by Isaiah.
You find out later in life. We're like, well, it's a long list of ladies.
Long list of ghosts.
It's all right.
We also did a little Would You Rather Wednesday, talking about would you rather be the contestant or the lead on The Bachelor or Bachelorette?
Maybe a better question would have been, because I feel like that show's probably still popular, but now there's so many other streaming, dating sort of shows that I feel like that kind of gets more publicity now. Like, don't you like Love Island better?
Yeah, like I don't know because
those
on
are
those
old too.
Those are all like on The Bachelor is one of the main ones that's on TV. Like it's on TV every week.
Yeah.
Where Love Island and a lot of those are all like streaming based.
Yeah.
They're all streaming, which obviously streaming is like just as big as TV is now for the most part for most people. I like Love Island. I like Temptation Island. I haven't checked out Farmer Needs a Wife.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't think that's premiered yet.
That's not out yet. I saw it advertised on the Super Bowl, so I'm expecting a large budget there for that.
I feel like any dating show on Fox has a different feel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some of the others.
That's for sure.
Well, I did see the commercial too. I was like, wow, the farming one is
I
good.
know. I'm like, look at them on the Super Bowl Sunday.
So what about this? And Nikki, I want an answer from you. What if the question was, it's not a would you rather, but which dating type show would you prefer to go on if you had to, gun to your head?
I think I'd like to go on one of those like blind date shows instead.
What's that one called? You know what I'm talking about, where everybody's blind on it? Not actually blind, but like not actually blind.
That would be crazy.
Like what is
that would be a crazy show.
It's called. It's well known.
Blind date? I don't know.
Is it called Blind Date?
No.
You're like, they're not actually.
There is a thing called Blind Date, but there's something else. I forget what it's called.
It's just the one where you meet the person like right then and there.
Yeah.
Not the one where you get married.
Oh,
married
it's
at first sight.
Love is Blind is the one I was thinking of.
I'm not going to let you pick any more shows.
Love is Blind. What about you, Hudson? Which one would you pick?
Oh, man. I think that Joe Millionaire.
Oh.
Yeah.
Joe Millionaire.
I'll be a millionaire if that
But he wasn't, was he? Or was he?
They did some of both.
Oh, he got the $1 million.
Yeah, remember they did one or two where it was a fake millionaire. But I'll pretend to be a millionaire. I think I'd be good at it. I'm very fancy.
Oh, no, you
I
need
have
to be.
refined tastes.
You should be Undercover Boss. Is that still a show?
Now we're just naming random shows. I want to be an Undercover Boss.
I don't know if it'd be good to try to get a date on Undercover Boss. That feels like that's.
I want to be in the cash cab.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So the better question is, what other show would you rather be in? It's not even a dating one. Well, enjoy the podcast today. There's lots more you can look forward to. And as always, please text in, even if you have a Would You Rather Wednesday question or just something that you want to send us that you found for us to talk about on the show. All you do is text 877 to RadioU, throw in your name and that it's a podcast, and we'll get it.
And we'll move along from here.
Okay. Have a good day.
Catch you tomorrow.
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Now, I hate to be the bearer of bad news because I like to be positive on the show. It's early in the morning. I want to pump people up and tell them happy stuff. But especially you, Nikki, I hate to bring you down with so much negativity going on in the world. But
I don't have to accept this. I know what you're going to talk about.
I've got bad news. You were so excited that Chick-fil-A is testing a new Cauliflower-Fil-A Sandwich.
You're right.
It looks identical to the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich, but instead of being chicken, it is filled with what they call a cauliflower fillet.
Yep.
And it is being tested in Denver, Charleston, and in North Carolina. And the reviews are in. Not exactly positive.
I have watched a bunch on TikTok. I've watched a few of these. I landed on that area. And
the algorithm knows you.
It knows me well because I would love to try it. I love a deep fried cauliflower. Always have. I will take it over chicken. Like, I have no problem.
Yeah, which is crazy.
This one person reviewed it and they're like, it's just breading. I was like, and the negative is?
Yeah, that doesn't sound so bad, actually.
I will still take it.
Yeah. The top negative that I'm seeing here from all these ladies, it seems. I don't see any dudes that have gone ahead and at least not included here. But they all seem to say that they thought it would be cheaper than what it is. You're talking, they say if you just order the sandwich alone, $7.19 pre-tax
$7
for only a cauliflower sandwich.
That's expensive, but sometimes, you wish when you have an alternative, you're like, hey, it's not even chicken. How can it be? Surely cauliflower is cheaper than chicken.
You would think.
That's not the case.
There's no cauliflower shortage. There's no cauliflower flu that we know of. So the cauliflower is in high supply and low demand.
But then that doesn't mean if they're all grumbling about the $7 price tag, that's not necessarily everybody grumbling about the taste of it.
No, but the reviews are also not saying that, oh, it tastes great, it's just too expensive. The reviews are like, maybe, and these are people that are going because they're expecting that they will like it because they're cauliflower people.
Well, sometimes your decision can be swayed when you're mad about the price.
That's right.
So you're expecting more from it and you're not getting it.
Yeah. Well, you got to take into account, too, it's Chick-fil-A. They're not exactly the cheapest fast food. And so they have to price it in line with the menu because if they made the Chick-fil-A cauliflower sandwich $5 cheaper than every other thing on the menu, all of a sudden everybody would be ordering. No, I can't. Don't believe what I'm saying there. No, that's a lie. Nobody would order it still. But I don't know. You just expect it's Chick-fil-A. You expect when Chick-fil-A comes out with something. When we heard about when they announced this, I think they said they'd been working on it for 4 years. You expect that it's going to be blowing people away. And again, I feel like every time for a while you would get like the Beyond whatever is at this restaurant, and you'd get people rushing to the restaurant and they couldn't wait to tell you how great it was, almost like they were trying to convince themselves. But now we finally reached the point where Chick-fil-A, nobody's trying to convince us of anything.
Listen, blow it on over here. I would be fine with it.
You'll be fine paying that hefty
give you a
price tag.
Doesn't matter. I'll give you a glowing review. A lot of people are just saying, why doesn't Chick-fil-A just do a meat alternative? Like the Beyond Meat instead of using cauliflower. But no, I like cauliflower.
Yeah, sometimes. And we've had the Beyond Meat. I know that it's better than, I'm sure that it would taste better than the cauliflower. I'm positive of that. But it's also not the same. And that, you want to talk about expensive.
That would be a lot.
Expensive.
It'd be beyond expensive.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
We can't top that.
That's it.
This is Radio U's Worst of the Riot.
Now that we've passed Valentine's Day, I think we can move on to ghosting season.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, it's where you, if somebody lets you down on Valentine's, you just ghost them.
Oh,
Leave
what a
them wondering.
holiday.
Yeah, but some people just don't meet expectations, you know?
So if you did not get what you wanted yesterday, it wasn't enough, or it wasn't what you were wanting, and you're ready to break up with the person, it's called ghosting season now.
I'm just making that up, but
Sounded good.
sure. I think it's worthy of a news article.
Is that
now.
with Mardi Gras?
You don't want to tie yourself down before that. No, I do have new research here that says that for now, 2 out of 3 people say they have ghosted someone and been ghosted themselves.
Yeah.
So ghosted people ghost people, it sounds like. Have you guys ever been ghosted?
Isaiah?
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah, definitely ghosted. Nikki?
I have ghosted.
You're a ghoster.
I really don't like conflict. So to me, I would prefer someone just ghost me and not tell me what the issue is. And so that's what I've done to others because I don't want to have the big conversation of why it's not working anymore.
You think they could debate you into changing your mind?
Oh, I just don't
Or not
even-
actually changing your mind, but
I just don't even want
Making you
to.
say, I'll keep texting you.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
just don't even want to have the conversation.
Yeah, that's probably it, in your situation. That's
Maybe
the right
it's
thing
best,
to do.
yeah.
What about? Well, you say you've been the ghoster, Isaiah. Have you been the ghoster?
I have ghosted.
Yeah.
Yay.
Now, how does it make you? I guess I want to go back. How does it make you feel to get ghosted?
It just depends on who it was. Some people I'm like, meh.
Some it's a
Yeah.
relief.
Other people, yeah, it just depends. It all depends on who the person is. Sometimes I'm like, that stinks. Other times I'm like, I don't really mind. Sometimes I don't even notice. And so it just depends on who it is.
Well, what about this? How long does somebody have to go with not responding to you before you realize you've been ghosted?
No, I think it only would take a week or so, depending
A
on how
whole
close.
week?
Depending on how close you were.
Yeah.
It just depends on the relationship, I think.
Yeah.
It could be 24 hours. It could be 48 hours. Sometimes
I
72
feel like
hours.
48.
Could be a couple
You're
of
just
months.
listing times now.
It could be 12 hours, 2 weeks.
What do you want him to say?
Yeah, I don't
Hudson?
know. I just
Lots
didn't
of
know if there
different
was
times.
a cutoff, but I feel like 48 to 72 hours feels about right. I'll tell you, I could never go through with the ghosting. I couldn't do it. I'm too polite.
You get your first one down. It's easy
yeah,
after that.
no, I'm
It's
too
fine.
polite.
No,
Even if it's a bad date or something, I could never
I think you'd better at it than
get
you realize.
myself to do it. I had
could do
to.
it.
No, I couldn't bring myself. I always had to eventually scare the woman away. But I could never be the one to do the breaking up. Every
Is
date
that
would
booing?
end
No.
a polite handshake and I'll see you next time. But I could never just pull
Just
the
ghost?
plug. Yeah, I could never ghost.
See, I think once you do it once, then it just rolls off the tongue. I've got like
Yeah.
49 unopened messages right now. And I'm just refusing to even look at them.
When you put it that way, I've never intentionally ghosted somebody, but maybe sometimes I'm really bad at answering texts, and maybe someone's out there right now is going, "You definitely ghosted me." And actually, they could be right about
They'll
that.
come back to haunt you.
I didn't ghost you. I just accidentally ignored you
Well,
because you
in
weren't
this-
a priority.
This study, they said that breaking up is a negative experience. I mean, none of us will argue that. But those that yearn for closure are the ones that are most upset. And I feel like I don't really care if there's not closure or not. I'd just rather not have the conflict to get to the closure.
Yeah.
So ghost away.
I mean,
I was going to say the worst is when they like call you out for ghosting. Then when they text you and they're like, oh, you're a ghoster? And I'm like, I guess so. And then you
But that's
don't
a tactic.
and then
That's a
you don't
tactic,
reply to that
yeah.
one either. You don't reply to that one either.
then you're just giving them what they want.
Exactly.
And it's sometimes easier if they're just mad at you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I
it's
just let it
sometimes
go.
Easier.
Yeah, and then maybe that gives them the closure.
Yep.
Accusing you of being a ghoster, which you are. I get that. I don't know. I think that's the closure you need sometimes. It's just to be ignored.
Everybody's different. Everybody's takes are different with it. But I
Yeah.
feel like ghosting it's not as shocking, and it's more the common practice than it used to be.
Yep, it's one thing's for sure. Ghosting here to stay.
You could be a nice ghoster. Again, like if you think
Now,
that.
how do you do that?
Now, let's just.
I don't know if there's different forms.
Yeah,
There
let her
is.
keep talking.
Yeah.
Let
Hang
her
on,
keep-
walk with me. So, like, if you know that it's better for you and this person to just ghost, then you do that. If it's not, then you have to be grown up enough to have a conversation with them.
Fair.
But for a lot of people, ghosting is just enough. Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Call them? Like, we can't
Fair.
do phone calls.
Yeah. All of a sudden, if somebody ghosts you and you don't let it go, all of a sudden you're the crazy
You're the
one.
crazy one. You're for
So-
sure the crazy
But
one.
like, if you've been together for 10 years, like, you're not
Yeah.
ghosting then.
Well, unless you look at the TikTok that I posted the last time we talked about ghosting. And one guy's like, my wife was married to me for 10 years and ghosted me. But then the guy admitted it was his fault.
Okay, well, then that's
Love
good.
TikTok.
This is The Riot. Radio U.
You can text in for Would You Rather Wednesday, where you can text in your opinion on today's question. You can also text in a future Would You Rather for us at 8772 Radio U, like John did.
Would you do our work for us for next week?
Yeah, that's right. John, though, is responsible for this question. He texted it in. He says, would you rather be the contestant, be one of the many contestants, or the lead on The Bachelor? As in, would you rather be the Bachelor / Bachelorette, or would you rather be one of the many, many contestants on the show?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Is it tough for you?
Well, I mean, I'm going to lean towards Isaiah on this since he watches it.
That's obviously why John had this on his mind, I'm sure, is all the Bachelor talk we do with Isaiah. So, Isaiah, share your expertise.
I don't know
It's a tough call.
what I would pick. I go back and forth.
Have you actually tried, or are you just always teasing when you said that?
You know, there's been times where I've looked, but I have not yet auditioned or tried to sign up. Obviously, had I'd be on there.
I feel like you need to become a contestant in order to then be picked as one
You
of
do.
the Bachelor/Bachelorette
Right,
people.
that's right.
So I think like one has to come first,
Well,
anyways.
you need to
have
have
to
some
be a
necessary
contestant first.
experience.
Yeah, usually there's been a couple people who haven't been like a contestant that have been the Bachelor, Bachelorette, but usually it is a previous contestant.
Aren't they former like football players?
Yeah, usually.
They use that loosely, though.
Yes, very loosely.
Yes, I played for the San Jose Biscuits
Yeah.
of the PFWL.
It was a minor league.
Yeah. Do you have a way you're leaning, contestant?
I went back and forth because I think that for me, I would be better as a contestant because then at the end, like, you might not have to get married, you know? you could just be like famous for a little bit. But I think the good thing is if you are like the main guy, if I was the Bachelor, then you for sure are like famous. Like you're for sure. But if you're not, if you're just a contestant, you could get knocked out the first night.
And then no one will know.
And then no one will know. Like a lot of the girls, like I was looking, girls that have already been X-nayed on this season, like they did not like grow. Like their profiles didn't even grow. Like some of them have as many followers as like we do, and we're on TV and did the whole Bachelor thing. And so for them, like they went on the show, they were there for the first night, they got cut, they essentially didn't get any screen time on TV. So for some of them that were looking for fame, didn't even get that much. But I mean, if you're Zach, who is the Bachelor this year, I mean, he obviously is super famous.
So you're doing it.
Now,
You're coming at all from the fame perspective.
Yeah, I think so.
I want you to understand that you're saying super famous, but you also don't know that's in a bubble. That's in the Bachelor
but
bubble.
like, I mean, he has like 100,000 followers on Instagram. From here on out, his life with that set up there is pretty much just set. Like you're never gonna be poor.
About life.
You're never gonna be poor. Like if you have $100,000 on or followers on Instagram, he can forever just like promote things on Instagram and just make money off.
He can
doing
live
that.
off that and probably start a car dealership somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. If you're the Bachelor, I think
Get in
you'll
on
be
a few
okay.
business ventures.
Yeah.
I was going to make fun of you for not doing it from a perspective of finding love, but then again,
I don't think anybody does on
nobody
that.
seriously actually expects
Well,
that.
let's
so.
get your guys' opinion
Yes.
for the Would You Rather Wednesday. Would you rather be a contestant on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette? Or I guess
one of 30.
any of those sort of dating competition love shows. Or would you rather be the actual main one they're vying for the love and attention
have
of?
30 people fighting over you.
With the world watching.
8772 Radio U. Text in your answer, and I've definitely got my opinion coming up next.
The Riot with Hudson and Nikki on Radio U.
Today is Would You Rather Wednesday on the show, and our question was submitted by John, who texted in and asked, would we rather be the Bachelor or Bachelorette, or would we rather be a contestant?
Oh.
Yeah, so on the show. So Isaiah sounds like he's leaning contestant.
Yeah. Probably contestant.
Yeah.
You're like,
Probably.
It's not that hard.
You can tell that he's really thought about it, but also that he's still not quite sure. For Nikki, do you have an answer?
Well, as someone who's not watched as much, but I think I get the basic concept for Bachelor, Bachelorette stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like you still have a better chance if you were a contestant and you did enough to like be known for that, and then hopefully down the line continue your time in Hollywood or on TV with becoming a Bachelor or Bachelorette, or like Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
Something like that. So I think I'd rather be a contestant.
Yeah. I'll tell you that Rachel texted in and she says everything about being on The Bachelor or Bachelorette sounds terrible. And so she is going off the board and choosing helping with craft services.
Oh, that's
Nice.
that's an excellent idea.
She says she could help out with the feeding the emotional and hangry contestants.
Nice.
That's not a bad one.
Or do you think they not let anybody eat anything on the show? Aw, maybe.
I imagine they have spit buckets or something.
Something like that.
For me, this is something I've referenced when we talk about The Bachelor before. I think I would choose being a contestant. And the first reason why is I think I'd be good at not getting eliminated. I don't think I would win, but I'd be good at not being the worst, which means I'd get to stick around every time.
I think you stick around more though in like again your career if you don't win the main thing.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't think I would win. I think I'd just be able to hang around for a lot of episodes because the Bachelorette would not hate me. She would never hate me enough as much as some of the other guys. And I'm ultra competitive, so it might bring out the best in me to really have to strive to stick around in there. You know what I mean?
I get it.
Also, I'd be terrible at being the Bachelor because I wouldn't have the heart to tell anybody to go home. As much as I might hate them,
Yeah.
I'm too polite. I'm too caring. I'm too nice.
You know,
have
maybe
too
I would
much
be
of
a good
heart.
Bachelor.
Yeah. You're just
You'd be-
kicking people to the curb.
You'd be 10 episodes in and there's still like 30 women.
That's how it'd be
Hudson's
for
like, I
me.
can't let anyone go.
Meanwhile, Isaiah would ghost them all. So
Yeah.
I'd be like, for whatever reason, there's only a couple left here. And
They'd
he's like,
Yeah.
have to talk to you and be like, you have to send someone home. And you're like, no, we could all be friends.
everyone gets a rose. Everyone gets a rose.
yeah, we're gonna need another shipment of roses here. So that's where I stand on that.
I think that's a nice, responsible, mature, nice, kind response.
I know myself.
Yeah. Well, if you guys have any thoughts or if there's a Would You Rather Wednesday question you'd like to ask for next week, definitely send it in. You never know, we might feature it.
8772 Radio U.
Thanks for watching the worst of the riot. Since you made it this far, you might as well like, subscribe, and check out riot.radiou.com for even more riot.